All right, let's move on. Let's talk a little bit about Piers Morgan had on our buddies Omar Badr and Cenk Uygur, and also had Jillian Michaels, who don't even get me started on her. But Stephen Miller's wife was also on this panel.
A lot of wife talk in the show today, apparently.
Yes, apparently there is a lot of wife talk. And she's launched a podcast recently, right? And now she's like trying to go on Piers Morgan. I don't know. Why does everybody want the spotlight? I don't understand it. I literally don't get it. And you might say, Kyle, it's hypocritical because you guys are in the spotlight or whatever. When I fucking started this in 2012 in my mom's basement, I didn't fucking know I would get to this. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's like I'm not actually looking for the spotlight. I like everything about the spotlight except the spotlight. I like getting the ideas out there and talking about the news and shit, but I don't like the fucking spotlight. These people she's yearning for that spotlight.
Yeah. And I mean, it's sort of pathetic as a woman. Like, you know, obviously you and I are married and both have our own things going prior to us coming together. Like, the only reason anybody knows this woman's name is because of who her husband is.
Totally.
And that's like kind of pathetic and sad.
Yeah, I totally agree.
Yeah.
So anyway, they go on Piers Morgan show, and she has Stephen Miller's wife, because I'm going to refuse to call her by her actual name. Stephen Miller's wife has a total meltdown and accuses Cenk and Omar Badr of being anti-Semitic. Take a look.
Why is it that every time someone wants to criticize Mamdani, it immediately comes back to the Jews and the anti-Israel movement instead of actually talking about his viewpoints, which is that he
Nobody
wants to
said
make
Jews. You just said it. You always do that. We say Israel, you say Jews. We say Israel is a government. Please don't make it about Jewish Americans. And you come back and go, you have to make it about Jewish Americans. What's wrong with you? What's wrong with you?
Is Israel a Jewish state? Yes or no?
Yeah. First of all, okay, so Saudi Arabia is a Muslim state, and you can criticize it all day long, all day long. There's no special protection
because
for
what you're doing is you're decoding language
that
to
calls
attack
themselves
American
a Jewish state or a
and to
Muslim
say that
state.
we should not be here and we should not be in existence, and that you would be happy for other people like Mamdani to use
it. I want Israel to be safe.
Nothing of the sort.
Nonsense. You're totally lying. It's very normal for a Miller to be completely and utterly lying.
Quite frankly, I'm really sick and tired of this racist, bigoted rhetoric that comes from people like you against my husband, against my family, and my children. I am raising Jewish children in this country.
Who brought your
in which
children into this? What a weirdo.
Piers, I'm going to be done with this if you're going to allow racist and bigoted attacks against one of your commentators just for the sake that he will not
hang on.
speaking.
Casey, to be clear, Casey, to be clear,
he inserted a line that says the Miller's lie. Is that not coded language for therefore we are Jewish? Come on, Piers, where are you?
What?
Where are you standing?
God, you're so
Casey,
pathetic.
if I can speak,
everything's your
if I can speak, listen.
Fire him, cancel him, cancel him, America. Oh my God, Israel's feelings have been hurt. Why don't you work for this country?
All right, can we try and get
this country?
Yeah, you are a guest on my show, and I appreciate you coming on the show, and I like you coming on the show.
And I'm saying that two other guests on your show are welcome to participate in these anti-Semitic attacks that is so permeating on CNN and MSNBC.
This is so ridiculous. I'm sorry. I have to jump in here. Somebody criticizing you personally is not an anti-Semitic attack. If somebody says that you are lying, that is not an attack on Jews. That is an attack on you. And just stop hiding behind identity. This is all the snowflake behavior that the right is supposedly criticizing the left for, that you're simply repeating here. Yes, Stephen Miller is a destructive force.
No, hold on. So what happened in the Holocaust and all the pogroms were disgusting. That doesn't mean...
Damn.
Total crash out, right? Total, like, threatening to rage quit. The most Karen, fragile, hysterical behavior I have ever seen. At first, you're a racist, you're an anti-Semite, how dare you? And then when that's not getting the result she wants, then it's Piers, do you see this? I'm going to have to leave if you don't kick Cenk off the panel, basically. And then when that doesn't work and she's completely destroyed by both Cenk and Omar, then it's, I'm going to get my husband to denaturalize you. You better make sure that your citizenship application was 100% correct. Like, wow. Every caricature of a liberal, which is what Omar pointed out, like every caricature of the most snowflakey, Karen, fragile, safe space liberal, like she just does a speed run through all of the caricatures of that in the worst way I've ever seen in a very short period of time.
It's the definition of being a cry bully. As she's threatening to get Cenk kicked out of the country.
Yeah.
It's like, I'm the victim.
I'm the victim.
Like, are you kidding me? Kicking somebody out of the country over, like, a disagreement on a podcast?
Oh, on a policy over Israel, over a foreign country. Like,
and that's the thing.
Miss America first, by the way.
There's no real argument, so they have to just smear and call them anti-Semites. Because I know for sure, Cenk is always very careful when talking about this stuff to me.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I'm not talking about all Jews. We're talking about Israel. And, you know, a lot of Jews lead the charge fighting back against Israel. That has nothing to do with anti-Semitism, et cetera, et cetera. She goes right to that. Definition of crybaby. Also, Randy Fine was on the same show with Cenk.
Oh, really?
Randy Fine did the same thing. He crashed out at one point and said, why don't you just call me a dirty Jew? It's like, when you're that defeated on the actual merits of the topic, maybe don't even fucking debate it. Maybe don't even be on air. Because you're gonna come across looking like the fucking unhinged loser that you are.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? She also talks like him. Did you notice that?
Her cadence and everything.
Cadence, her rhythm, the way she talks is from Stephen Miller, which is like, of all the people to not copy, it's Stephen Miller.
Yeah.
And also, like, come on, you have to know that your husband is an insane like, you know your husband's a fascist. You know your husband's an insane fascist.
Yeah, she talks about how it, like, gets her going in the morning when he's there talking about how he's going to destroy the left and shit. Like,
he was fucking paraphrasing Goebbels at the Charlie Kirk speech.
Yeah.
Like, this is who this guy is. And for them to play the victims, like, all the shit that they're doing.
Our criticism of Stephen Miller is because he's Jewish.
Oh, my God.
And not because he's a total fucking fascist psycho. Like, just destroying the Constitution, you know, cruel mass cruelty and deploying the military, the streets. Like, that is so... She knows that that is not true. And I appreciate Cenk immediately calling her out on how she tries to immediately shift from a conversation about Israel to the Jews. And he's like, you all are the one that do that.
I didn't say that.
And that is anti-Semitic, actually.
Yeah.
To say that every Jew in the world or every American Jew has to be associated with the actions of this total psycho state. But, you know, her, like, fragile crybaby meltdown there, that is the human embodiment of what their actual administration policy is. You know, oh my God, you can't write an op-ed or else we have to arrest you. Oh my God, we can't let you in the country even if you've said anything critical of Israel. Oh my God, we have to have these speech codes at universities. We have to force students to go through some anti-Semitism re-education training before they can start. Oh my God, we have to, like, kick students out of school if they've done anything that we think is, you know, wrong thing on Israel. So as hysterical and insane as she is, and apparently Randy Fine was too in the segment as well, like, that is reflected in the actual policy from this regime.
Trump basically validated the other day that Stephen Miller was the one responsible for kicking those South Korean workers out of the country who were building that South Korean factory.
Yeah, Hyundai plant,
yes.
right?
So Trump basically validated, like, oh, I was against it, but it happened, but we're going to bring the workers back because they're supposed to be here, et cetera. Basically admitting it was Stephen Miller who overrode the president and said, go after these legal workers who are here. And, like, this woman's on the show. Like, do you not understand that your husband is literally destroying this country? Do you not understand that this is too Nazi even for fucking Donald Trump?
Yeah.
It's just crazy to me that, like, again, crybaby, the skeletons in her closet, the things that her family is doing, and she's fucking yelling at Cenk for making reasonable criticisms of Israel. Meanwhile, it's because of your husband that ICE is totally unhinged, and they're doing fucking human traffickings and stuff like that. They sent all the people to the concentration camp in El Salvador. That this is all because of your husband. Fucking, remember, he told the ICE agents, you need to go to the Home Depots, you need to go to, you know, the Lowe's and the 7-Elevens, and that's where they literally were disbanding the groups that were going after the cartels and the real criminals to go after the non-criminals.
Yeah, and now they've had a total, they found ICE not even quite fascist and Nazi enough for them. So they're bringing in the CBP guys.
Yep.
Who are more militarized, and they have, you know, they have drones and they have aircraft and whatever. They're the ones who led that raid on the apartment building using the Black Hawk helicopters, where they arrested people in the middle of the night, pulled them out and zip-tied children and threw them in the back of U-Haul vans, and people didn't have their clothes on. And we're talking about mostly American citizens, by the way. That was CBP. That is Stephen Miller. And so to pretend like, oh, the criticism of my husband, it's because he's Jewish. I mean, again, there's no way she believes that. There's no way she actually believes that.
Yeah, that's right. All right, so Cenk, hope you don't get deported, bro. Good luck. Omar, same.
Man, Hassan is in their sights. Mehdi, Zoran, they're like taking official actions to try to denaturalize Zoran in Congress.
It's insane.
Completely insane.
We're all on their radar to one extent or another, you know? I covered the MELTDOWN thing the other day that, like, their ICE already has Pegasus spyware. and they're using it to spy on whoever they want, even citizens. You know. So like it's all come apart.
And just
it's
so
fascism.
you guys know,
It's here.
Pegasus, like you don't have to,
You have to do anything.
You have
They
to
could
click a
just
link or
get
anything.
in.
If they have your number and they're using Pegasus, then they can get access to everything on your phone, including the encrypted acts, things like Signal, whatever.
Which how is that? The person who made that should be locked up, right? Like how the fuck is that legal?
Yeah.
That's just crazy.
Totally crazy.
And apparently Biden made it illegal, but Trump immediately was like, nah, we're gonna use that shit. You know, Mr. I'm being politically persecuted was like, let me fucking persecute anybody who's ever disagreed with me once.
Yeah.
You know?
Totally.
Hey guys, we had on Max Flugarth, who's an election expert, and he walked through with us exactly how Trump is going to try to steal 2026 and 2028 and what they've already done. So you don't want to miss this. This was a super important episode. Sign up below on Substack to see the whole thing.